Now, in exchange for this information, you need a safe passage out of here?
Preferably at least out of the city. These people will kill me.
I think we can arrange that, sort of looking over to Talia and Greenleaf.
She nods.
All right.
She nods.
We can...
Name's Underwood.
We can arrange that. How can we arrange this transfer of information, then?
Well, quite frankly, you pay me and I give you the information.
Well, you'll give us the information outside of the city, then?
Outside of the city's dangerous. The Guardian hears everything.
Guardian.
What?
Fair enough.
Seriously, Chris?
No, I'm trying to get more information out of the guy. I know what she's talking about. It's like, I'm seeing if he has any more information, because I haven't heard much either. I didn't know he was like George Orwell.
What is with your voice again?
What? Seriously?
Seriously.
Yes.
Chris, it's your internet connection. It's if you're downloading something or uploading something.
I'm not.
Yeah. All right, so I'll look over to Talia, and then I'll look over to the gentleman, and I'll say, all right, here's the deal, or here's my proposition. We'll arrange for a way for you to leave the city, and before you enter that way of leaving the city, you'll give us the information.
Forgive me, it's the house phone.
Okay.
But he thinks about it for a few moments and says, "Yeah, that'll be fine."
Also,
How
you can have
far-
sex with a fighter.
How far out of the city do you want to get?
A decent distance. That Guardian will kill anything that gets too close if he finds a threat.
And those guards need to be with you at the time?
Yes, please.
How much do you know about this Guardian?
How much do I know about it? Not very much. The thing has never been seen. But the guards don't tell you about the other killings. Sure, there are some who are, cut and punctured with arrows, but I mean, shit, there are whole groups that are completely mauled beyond recognition.
Can I do a perception check on him? I want to see if I notice any symbols of him belonging to any guild on his person or skin.
Sure. He nods. Well, mauled is in torn apart by wild animals mauled.
Now,
That there are no tracks.
now when you say arrows, where they have standard size?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, you said it only responds to threats, right?
Well, what it perceives as threats. The only issue is we don't know what it perceives as threats.
So it just kills things leaving the city?
Not most of the time. No, it's people sometimes are found dead, but these people are also the more, unsavory types.
Okay, now, was this thing here before the Queen? Or this thing...
No, this thing followed her here.
And it's never been seen, so how do you know it exists?
Because we've seen its handiwork. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it ain't there.
Sounds a lot to me like an assassin's guild.
If an assassin's guild uses wild animals that can't be seen,
Wild animals that can't be seen, or they're poisoned beforehand, and then wild animals get the bodies.
but there are no
Then wouldn't-
tracks,
whoa,
man.
Wait. If wild animals were eating them after they've been poisoned, wouldn't they be dead too?
Depends on the poison.
Depends on the poison, depends on the animal.
Yeah.
The animals, they don't leave tracks, though. You just one moment you see the goblins just camped out there getting ready to make a small raid, and the next, I mean, they're dead. Dead in a whole lot of ways.
What's the range on this thing? How far do you mean? What?
We don't exactly know. We don't travel all that far out, just because, shit, it could happen to us.
I'll tell you what. Pick a direction, and the way we'll get you out is the way you'll go. And then you stop going in that direction when you perceive fit. How's that sound?
He nods and he says, sure.
You don't have to pick right now, obviously.
What's the furthest out you've seen the bodies?
Furthest out? A mile, I think.
You know?
Okay, so we need to get you outside, at least a mile and a half outside of the city.
Word,
No
Talia,
kidding.
Blackwood.
I might as well unload all my information off on you guys.
Tell
I
me,
mean,
how comfortable are you pretending to be dead for about a day or so?
depends on if I have to take any drugs for it. Because, I mean, seriously?
Yes.
I am not going to take a drug to die.
Well,
Never know
you
you
wouldn't
guys-
be dead. You'd just be poisoned for a bit.
Mostly dead.
If we could ship you out in a coffin, your guards could be your mourners. We could have you leave the city that way.
We'd be taking him home. Oh, is he from this city? Because we could say we'd be taking him home to his family to bury him.
I actually used to live on a small village, a couple miles out. I guess we can pretend this for a little bit.
Well, we're not gonna. I wouldn't do this right now, mind you, but because we would need some time to set this up and make sure it goes according to plan.
If we're just going to put him in a coffin, we don't really need to poison him.
Well, if this thing is as perceptive as it appears to be, or as he's afraid it is, then we may need to fake certain things. So, I'm thinking, just for the client's sake here, and I'm gonna put my arm around him and be all buddy-buddy with him, just for the client's sake here, let's make him feel a bit more comfortable about the whole ordeal instead of just sticking him in a coffin and having them be mourners.
And I pull Talia and Blackwood to the side. Cam, word please. Just a second.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
The problem with that is the queen said for us to stay within the city limits for the day, like a couple days.
Said for us to be in the city limits, said nothing about him.
Yes, but aren't we going with him to protect him?
No.
Okay then, carry on.
He's got 3 guards. Why would we do that?
Okay.
I have no intentions of doing that.
We're just sending him out, dude.
Now, obviously, this isn't the most comfortable of situations, sir, but considering my experience with certain less than moral endeavors, I think I could relatively ensure your safety in this.
He nods and is like, all right.
All right, I'm going to stick my hand out and say, we have a deal?
He tentatively looks at your hand before he grabs it and shakes it before quickly pulling back and says, yeah, we got a deal.
All right, I'll say, where else can we find you? Just at that inn, I guess, or somewhere else?
My usual haunting spots in the southwest of the city.
All right, well, we'll keep an eye out southwest of the city when we're ready, and then we'll get in touch with you.
He nods. Says, all right, let's get out of here.
Okie doke. We leave.
Oh. That was productive.
Well, the good thing is, even if it doesn't work, we'll still get the information out of him.
And you get to poison somebody. All in all, a good day.
Well, we'll see about that. I'm gonna have to find some kind of poison that'll knock him out, so he won't,
Can we
actually,
maybe
you know what?
meet
I
with the
do
group
have
before
poison
we
that
go
does
much
that.
further?
Was that Adam?
I was just thinking maybe we could meet the group because I do kind of have a plan and I'd like to maybe at least discuss it in character.
Alright, let's go back to the other guys then.
Back to the other guys.
Before we do any more of the story, I just want to ask you from a DM's ruling point of view. Ungold Dust, when it reduces someone to 0 HP, knocks them unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of reducing someone to 0 HP, can knock them unconscious. If I could convince this guy to take this stuff, would you allow that? Because it's a special if the DM allows it.
I'll say through proper application of it, then yeah, it can knock someone unconscious, so,
Okay.
yeah.
Alright, cool. Well then, yes, I do have a poison that may work.
Are you going to give the guards an antidote?
Antidote is just waiting for him to wake up.
Yeah, it's just a time thing.
How long does it usually take? How long does it last, is what I should say.
Till the next extended rest.
Yeah, just a couple hours then.
A few hours to a day, depends.
Alright, they'll be able to get him out to the city then, okay.
Assuming, I don't give him too much and kill him, but hey, let's look on the bright side.
Well, there's always the possibility with the Ongol dust that you just destroy his insides.
Yeah, that's also the possibility too, but by the time he notices, we'll have the information and we'll be on our way. I hope.
Oh, that's heartless.
Well,
I didn't say I was a good person, I'm just saying I'm trying to get the job done.
Murder, my plan involves very, very little poisoning or murder. I know it's surprising coming from me, right?
I'm not trying to murder him.
Basically. But if he dies, you would not be unhappy about it.
If he dies, he's not going to know. He'll be dead.
That's irrefutable logic.
We don't need any more people on our asses about this. My plan is very simple. All we do, we're in a cart going to this town. I cast invisibility on him. We get to the town. I take it off. We get the information. We go home. 5 hours at most. No one gets poisoned. No complicated. Nothing more complicated than that.
Look, he's worried that unsavory types generally get murdered in some ungodly fashion. This man is an unsavory type. I can smell it off of him. And you're going to cast invisibility on him, and on top of that, you're going to violate a direct order from the Queen. I don't know about you, but I don't like that.
Poison him. I'm pretty sure poisoning counts as unsavory.
Well,
it's an unsavory act, absolutely, but you're talking about turning an unsavory individual invisible, trying to sneak past this thing, which he is very paranoid about.
Okay,
I'm just trying to keep the client's interests in mind here, so we can get the payoff.
Raslam, one, we don't know if this Guardian can detect any sort of magical anything, so he still might be able to detect him while he's invisible. We don't know anything about him. I normally wouldn't go with something as...
we don't know anyone about him. He could very well
so let's
take
err on the
poison
side...
and kill him anyway.
Well, I normally wouldn't want to, accidentally murder anybody, but sadly, I think Blackwood's plan is the way to go.
I agree.
I must admit, this is probably the nicest plan I've come up with in a while, because the last time I tried to get information out of someone, it involved a couple of legs and waterboarding, so...
Talia's gonna throw him a look.
Hey, you may hate me, but I ain't evil. I'm just trying to service the Raven Queen.
Hey, I have to agree with Blackwood. As much as I would not like to destroy this man's innards, the price of few is for the many.
The worst that's going to happen. The worst that's going to happen is that he'll be shitting into a bag for the rest of his life. That's a small price to pay.
You also he kind of agreed to it, Adam.
We get the information we need. He gets out of the city with his guards. We don't have to leave the city with him. We don't break any rules.
Face down my standard, which is very powerful.
Another point is, doing this sets a very dangerous precedent, don't you think? Oh, this guy has information. Oh, we'll just poison him.
The guy agreed
where
to.
did he stop?
This is very different circumstances.
Listen, I'm not trying to say, let's go poison everybody who has information. What I am saying is this is a unique situation. He wants out of the city. This, I think, is a clever way of getting him out of the city. However, if you think your idea is better, I would like to put this up to a vote, because, honestly, Ungoldost is kind of expensive. So...
I am strangely comfortable with Blackwood's plan.
I think Blackwood...
The flaw, I think, with Rassilon's plan is that we'd have to escort him out of the town. We've been told to stay in the city limits. Otherwise, he's going to turn invisible and say, "See ya," and we won't see him for dust. Literally. And we'll get
Even though I
nothing.
hate it, I
With a
still...
very small radius.